All right, welcome to Fire Service Warrior video blog, episode number 11. Been a really great week. Spent last week at FDIC. Got the chance to teach two separate programs. Situational awareness on Monday is a 4-hour workshop, and the ready position on Wednesday is an hour and 45-minute classroom. The other big piece of news for me was that my book, The Combat Position, officially came out from Penwell this week. You can pick it up at the Fire Engineering Books online bookstore if you care to read it. So far I've gotten a lot of really good feedback. Folks looking at it, liking it, enjoying the topic, enjoying the exploration really of this fire service warrior culture that we're talking about here. So what we're going to talk about today is how do we move forward. We've outlined those 10 points of our ethos statement. And if you haven't watched all of those videos, I would really recommend that you go back and look at them. I'm going to make sure that we update the video blog page to make sure that they're all there. But go back and look at each and every one of those statements. Go back to episode number 1 and come forward and watch them. Review them if you haven't seen them recently. Take a look, double check, see where we're coming from. Because as we move forward, having that foundation of that ethos statement and what that means is going to help give you a sense of how to prepare. So today what we're going to talk about are virtues. Because I think that virtues really form the foundation of our character. And that character lays the foundation for our ability to succeed, to thrive on the fire ground. The reality is our virtues begin to be set from the time we're the smallest of children. Okay? We don't suddenly come upon this career, this vocation, and form our virtues. It's been there. It's something that we have to build upon now. It really is that foundation. We talk a lot about values in the fire service. Things like loyalty, integrity, pride. And those values have been pretty well defined up to this point. And we embrace many, many different values in the fire service. And there's some great work out there on that. The area that we haven't taken up before is this area of virtues. Well, what are virtues? Virtues can be thought of as being universal good traits. Those elements of moral and ethical goodness, uprightness. Universal things that do not change from society to society. Different societies, different cultures have different value systems. If we look at two very clear-cut distinctions, traditionally, Eastern culture is thought of as placing more emphasis on the importance of your responsibility to society, the individual's responsibility to the whole. Whereas in Western culture, value has been placed more on the individual. My desire for success, my desire for achievement. And my responsibility doesn't always have to fulfill society's expectations of me. That's one example of values. But when we talk about virtues, again, we come back to those things that are ethical, moral, and right by virtue of what they are. I come back to what Nancy Sherman said in Stoic Warriors. Virtue alone becomes sufficient for happiness without dependence on external goods or luck. For the fire service warrior, we embrace 3 critical virtues. The virtues of honor, of duty, and of courage. Honor is the foundation of everything. If we do not have honor, if we are not honorable people, then we won't achieve anything. Ultimately, honor really is summed up best, and I think that core maxim that recruits are taught when they enter the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. A cadet shall not lie, steal, or cheat, nor tolerate those that do. Honor is those qualities of those values of integrity, of justice, of loyalty. All of those things become part of being an honorable person. And really, when you consider that our responsibility is to step into people's lives at the most profoundly difficult moments they'll face, they have to know that we are going to do that in an honorable way. Then duty. We've talked about duty before, and I come back to duty a lot in the way I write, the way I speak, the things that matter to me. Because ultimately, no one put a gun to any of our heads and said, you will be a firefighter. You will be a fire service warrior. We all stepped up, raised our hand, and said, pick me. I will do this. And in doing that, we assumed a duty. We assumed a responsibility for our neighbors. And we assumed a duty that we knew would place us in harm's way. Courage. We come back to courage because courage is the idea of accepting fear and going beyond it. I like Mark Twain's quote. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. The things that we do in the fire service should cause us to be afraid at times. They should bring about the physiological reaction, the psychological reaction of fear. But if we are going to thrive on the fire ground, we need to make the choice that we will not be afraid, that we will put that fear aside. We will be wary. We will be alert. We will be prepared. And in doing that, we allow our courage to flourish. If we give in to the fearful part of our brains, the fearful part of our souls, that's when we begin to doubt our ability to successfully thrive on the fire ground. Will it be dangerous? Yes. Will some of us get hurt? Thousands of us will get hurt. Statistics show 30,000 of us get hurt on the fire ground every year. Can we reduce those numbers because we focus on being honorable and fulfilling our duty through physical fitness, through eating right, through doing everything possible to master the knowledge, skills, and abilities of our trade? Absolutely. Can we eliminate those injuries? No. We do a dangerous job. Can we reduce line of duty deaths by embracing this quality of being a warrior's mindset, of striving to thrive on the fire ground? Absolutely. 100%. Can we eliminate them? No. Ultimately, people will have heart attacks. Buildings will collapse. Fire conditions will rapidly deteriorate. We will lose fire service warriors. However, if we strive every day to follow those points on that ethos statement and to follow these ideas of this warrior culture, we can begin to really reduce those numbers to the unpreventable ones. That must be our shining star. That must be the lofty goal. So that's it for this week. For everybody that came up and saw me at FDIC, thank you so much, especially those of you who came up and said that you watch the video blogs and you like them. It means a tremendous amount to me to know that people want to see this information. For everybody that picked up a copy of the Combat Position Achieving Firefighter Readiness, thank you so much. I heard that our sales were phenomenal and that there's a pretty good chance that I was the #2 selling book at FDIC this year, which is a really humbling thing for me to think about. So thank you so much for that. If you haven't gotten a chance to pick the book up yet, please do. Please read it. It dives into some of this information in a way that I never can in a 10-minute video or even in some of these blog posts. Give it a look. Tell me what you think. So until next week, thanks so much for visiting the blog. Continue to refer people here. We've had a great month so far. Love to see that continue. Love to see the message continuing to get out there. We are going to be posting some new classes. I'm going to be traveling down to Texas at the end of April to give a class. We'll have that information up soon. So come check it out. And if you're going to be down in the Dallas area the last Friday in April, come by and visit the class once we get it posted, and we'll have books there if you want to pick them up there. So Thanks everybody for coming out and visiting. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Cheers.